push the button. Why do I make a huge mess? Just trying to have some tea. Oh my goodness. Hey, there's somebody on YouTube. Good rising. I just poured some tea and I spilled it on the table and the floor and on me, of course. Let's get the chart up. I had a lot of technical difficulties this rising. Good rising, Tony. Hi, Tony. Thanks for passing through. That's good. All right. Uja, Uben Nefer, good rising and great awakening. Wait a minute. It's always different. I changed it yesterday. I don't know what it is now. This stuff says corn. That's the one I had chosen. No. Sorry about that. I had already filled this out. Okay. Ready? There we go. Okay, there we go. 51. Okay, there we go. All right. Good rising, Evelyn and Clifton, and somebody is there on YouTube. Okay, so I'm trying to share the chart for today. It didn't show up today. Alrighty then, try it again. Just a minute, I had the chart. Didn't go there yet. Okay, there it is. Okay. Oh, I see. There's the save. I am so sorry I'm not on top of things today. I was making candles. Save this. have to do it like this. All right, there we go. Try it again. There we go. All right. Man. Okay, after all that. Good rising, Constance. Astro app. I use Astro app to get the 13-month chart. But you have to pay a monthly subscription to get access to the 13-month. It's the only place I know of right now. I'm sure there's other places. Oh, wow, this time the whole thing fits on the TikTok page. That's amazing. All right. Good rising, Constance, and everyone on TikTok. Welcome to Good Rising TV Wellness Wednesday. This always looks forget. There we go. Where we talk about some really wonderful topics of wellness and healing and well-being. I'm just figuring all that out. And we start with the chart, and we can talk about different frequencies. That over. Yeah, all right. Here's my stack of papers for frequencies, which I've yet to organize. Okay. All right, so let's go around the chart. I'm learning different ways to interpret the arrangements, the alignments. So this is a 13-month sidereal astrology chart. You can actually call it an astronomy chart because this is the system that astronomers use. And today is the first day of Sagittarius season. Yes. Yes, the day has moved forward from the 18th. Oh, it's still the 18th? Okay, yeah, it's still the 18th. I'm not sure when the day moves to the 19th. You know, I'm not sure, but as far as I know, it's still the first day of sidereal Sagittarius. But yeah, there we go. On the chart it says Sagittarius. Yeah. So I thought we would go around the chart today and to see what we can learn, what we can glean from the chart. At Horoscopes, we use the kinetic references or the Unitarian references. And at Horoscopes, there's a handbook or manual you can download. But of course, like I mentioned, my family it's still down. But when it's back up, you'll be able to download the manual and make the correspondences that are used here at the temple. So like Constance said, we just moved from Ophiuchus. Let's see if I can find it. There. We moved from Ophiuchus to Sagittarius. There's the sun. I don't know how I can do that on YouTube. You can see the sun right there. The sun is in sidereal Sagittarius, and I think usually at this time of year, Capricorn at the winter solstice around the 21st. But according to this chart, we just moved into sidereal Sagittarius, so we're there with Juno, no, Pallas Athena. So the sun, of course, corresponds to Ra, and Pallas Athena corresponds to Ma'at, goddess Ma'at. The asteroids all correspond to goddesses. Well, these 4 asteroids, not Chiron. And then sidereal Sagittarius. Sagittarius usually corresponds with travel, wisdom, acquiring wisdom. The wise elder is associated with Jupiter. And in this system, Sagittarius refers to a star or moon. Sagittarius is pointing towards the center of the Milky Way. Let's see what some other people say about Sagittarius. pointing to the center of the Milky Way towards Ophiuchus. And to me, it represents, the journey of the soul. The arrow is pointed towards the center of the galaxy. And that's where we're headed to, towards the center of the Milky Way. Let's see what some other people say about Sun and Sagittarius. So it would be the time for our creativity, which is Ra. Well, actually, Ra is creation. So our creations are headed towards in the direction of travel. Like you could manifest your ideal travel plans. I'm thinking of taking some traveling. So maybe this is a good time for me to chart out my travel plans. Let's see what some people say about Sun and Sagittarius. And Asar represents the universal soul. So this is the journey of the soul we're talking about here. And let's see what they say about it. The Sun in Sagittarius, optimistic, adventurous, open-minded. When the Sun enters expansive Sagittarius, it's time to open our hearts and souls to all the great opportunities the world has to offer. Sagittarius is a bold fire sign that loves to travel, have fun, and learn new things. The Sun's transit through this adventurous sign is a great time to adopt the archer's attitude for ourselves and push beyond our usual boundaries to try something new. Yes, something new. I'm like I say, I'm planning a trip. I want to visit the mounds. So that would be something new for me because I've seen pyramids, but I've not been to the mounds. Luck runs high and optimism rules under the Sagittarius sun. Rather than focusing on what we can't do, it's time to realize all the things we can do. That's good. As a sign of both faith and expansion, there are truly no limits while the sun dances its way through Sagittarius. When the sun is in Sagittarius, this is from Tarot.com. I just Googled Sun in Sagittarius and read the first thing. Go big or go home. The Sun in Sagittarius invites you to think big, travel far, and be open to everything that's offered to you. Learn how you can make the most of this transit here. What to do. Read. Sagittarius is a student of life and highly prizes education, both street smarts and book smarts. Adopt Sagittarius' love of learning and expand your mind with a brand new topic you've always wanted to explore. What to say? Say yes. As an opportunist and a risk taker, Sagittarius is always up for anything at a moment's notice. Accept all invitations, even if they seem a little daunting. If you never try, you'll never know. And it goes on and on and on. Okay. But like I said, here we focus on the Kemetic or the Natarian principles. And again, so Ra is the creation, Asar, Amun. Asar represents the universal soul, eternal life. Amun represents the witnessing consciousness. So how would you put those three characteristics together? And then that's how you would come up with your horoscopes. For me, it's charting a course for travel. And then Pallas Athena, of course, or Ma'at, represents justice. So traveling, creating a travel plan that somehow brings about justice or an experience of justice. So for me, that would be visiting the mounds and doing what I can to reactivate them. I don't know if I'll be able to go during the time of Sagittarius, but I'm going to work on my plan and my strategy. As far as learning, I'm going to focus on finishing my books. Hey, look, we have someone here. Stay Space. Hello, Stay Space. You know, my birth name is Stacy, and I translated it to Tachia. So we're named cousins. Did you know that the name Stacy, which comes from Anastasia, means rise again, rebirth, renewal, rejuvenation, resurrection, and I'm missing another one. All right, so that's the sun and Pallas Athena, or Ra and Ma'at in Asar Moon. Then we have next Neptune. No, that's not Neptune. See, I have my glasses on, but they're still small. Um, that's Pluto. Pluto is still in Capricorn. Oh, it looks like it just moved to Capricorn. Yeah, it just moved to Capricorn. Oh, that's right. It was retrograde in Sagittarius. Pluto's in Sidereal Capricorn. A lot of people have been talking about the Pluto transit to Aquarius, and it's just now coming into Capricorn in this system. It's no longer retrograde, though. But we also have Ceres, which is Aset, and Venus, which is Heteru. So Pluto is Asar, Ceres is Aset, and Heteru. And Capricorn, the name for Capricorn is Picaeus. The Natarian name is Picaeus, but we just say Geb. So how would you put together that horoscope? Asar, Aset, Heteru, and Geb. Like one way you could do it is to chant. After we go around the chart, I'm going to choose some chimes for the sound healing, cosmic sound healing chanting. I suppose we could just do the sun and what I don't have a chime for Pallas Athena, but I could do sun inside your Sagittarius for sure. And so we have Pluto, Asar, Aset, and Heteru in Geb. So we're already dealing with Asar a little bit with Sagittarius, but Asar is the, Pluto's the planet of transformation, of life and death. And Aset is the goddess of divine wisdom, and Heteru is the goddess of love and beauty, and Geb is the earth sign. But when we're talking about Pluto and Capricorn, I'm thinking of just the death of Western imperialism and structures and standards and patterns, practices that are no longer serving us, finding a way to release them and let go. Because there's, it's a transformation, death to rebirth. So that's what I'm feeling right now. And then Aset and Geb. Well, gaining divine wisdom by spending time in nature, spending time with the earth, working with structure and stability in your life. Like I don't really like paperwork at all, so it's hard for me to do that. But maybe I could try being more intuitive with my paperwork instead of approaching it with fear or doubt or thinking it's not going to work, things like that. Just having a more intuitive approach, coming at it from a spiritual perspective instead of trying to fit into the material view. What's coming to mind is a friend of mine was filling out an application and they were asking for titles for the members in the group, and we came up with our own titles, that kind of thing. So just taking a different approach to that. And then Heteru, seeing the beauty in the structure and stability of the construct, how to use it to our advantage, how to benefit from it, because it's there. When it's there, I have the mindset where I don't see any value in it, but maybe I need to change my perspective and see how to use it to my benefit. I'm going to take a note on that. That's what I'm going to do. So that's probably what I'm going to focus on for this session right now. I could go around some more, but I guess one more would be Saturn. Yeah, I haven't really dealt with that, so I'll do that one too. Okay. So what did I say? An intuitive approach to paperwork and legal issues. Now, usually when I do the chimes and chanting, I just channel the different characteristics and aspects of the cosmic force um, and legal stuff. But today I'm going to try to just chant the names and not speak any English. That's what I'm going to try. I always say I'm going to do that, and then I just chant the English because I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But since we already talked about it, then you already know. Okay, and beauty and benefit. Because it's a construct that I think is pure evil. It's wicked, and I just try to avoid it as much as possible. And but maybe there's another approach that I just haven't really tried. So that's what I'm getting from this message. And then Pluto is the witnessing the downfall, the death of these wicked structures. Like there's a song by what's the name of that band? Oh my gosh, I can't believe Burning Spear. Burning Spear. Is it Burning Spear? Yeah. And he says, while Babylon is falling, make use, take advantage of the tools of Babylon, like the telephone and the fax machine and the other constructs, because they're not going to be around forever. So make use of them. All right, so I'm going to go with that. And then, of course, we had the sun in Sagittarius, and that's the only one I have. Oh, I said I would do Saturn. So Saturn's in Aquarius. I do Aquarius. Saturn is Geb. Aquarius, the Natarian name for Aquarius is Ku or Ku. And the cosmic force associated with that is Heru, right? So again, Geb and Heru. So Saturn is a planet of, it's the teacher, the limiter, the restrictor, setting boundaries. Heru represents spiritual victory. So there you have it. Spiritual victory, setting boundaries. And also moving beyond limitations. We set our own boundaries for protection. And then we have to not accept limitations. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm going to work on now. And before I set up the chimes, is there anyone here? Yes, I have 13 sign astrology. Oh, there's someone here called Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus Priestess joined. Yes, we're doing 13-month sidereal astrology. The system is called Haduscopes, where you take the Natarian cosmic forces of nature and correspond them to the planetary and constellations as opposed to the Greek. Ooh, Ophiuchus sun and moon. Ooh, I have Ophiuchus rising. I'm still trying to enjoy my chart, my 13-month chart. It's a work in progress. But I was a Leo, of course, and now I'm a Cancer, the Capra, the Scarab. So it's like kind of like a downgrade. So I have to stop seeing it that way. Yeah, so at this system, Ophiuchus we call Imhotep because of the constellation of Ophiuchus is the only constellation that represents the life of an actual human. All the other ones are myths. But the one for Ophiuchus, I still have all the signs in me. Thank you. Yeah, I have Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn and Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius. And so that takes up like a lot of my mind space. I don't, and it's true even in the Westerns. It's not like it's different in this system. That's just a reality. And I still haven't, I don't know, I still haven't learned how to navigate it. I guess I'm still in shock. That's my reality. So, yeah, but Ophiuchus sun and moon, how exciting. That we just left Ophiuchus, the month of Ophiuchus. And I had vowed that I was going to start teaching astrology class, yoga classes during Ophiuchus. And I began. Yeah, hopefully it'll keep going. Yeah, so this one thing I like to do, if somebody wants sun sign, I can tell you I have this little chart here that I made almost, my 2001. After I'd been studying it for 20 years, I finally made a chart. I need to update it. But yes, so if anybody on here, technically, and Neptune in the middle. Neptune in the middle. In the middle of the sun and the moon, you have the sun, the moon, and Neptune in Ophiuchus. Wow. Okay, yes, so if there's anyone wants to know their sun sign in the 13-month system, I have the chart here. Wow. That's amazing. So emotional healing for sure. Are you also a healer? Like, because that's your thing, is healing, helping people heal their emotions, release their emotions. That's amazing. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so going once, going twice. If there's anyone on here that's interested in finding their sun sign and the 13-month system, just let me know. My website is down, so I can't tell you to go there. Galactic medicine woman. Oh, yes, I'm a galactic woman too. I'm a galactic astronomer. Yes, wonderful. Well, we're going to have to stay in touch. We're going to have to stay in touch because we have a lot in common. On Tuesdays, we have Tamarican Tuesday, and we talk about the cosmology of Tamarica. Tamari is the name for North Central South America, and we're focusing on our Aboriginal heritage, no longer referring to ourselves as Black or Black Native American or Indian like that. So we're building that up, and then we're studying the, my original project was the cultural astronomy of indigenous cultures that studied Sirius and had pyramids and the galactic wisdom, the Mayan wisdom, and the Toltec, Lakota Star of Knowledge, the Cherokee. These are the ones that I'm most familiar with. I'm open to learning more, but I'm starting with what I already know, and then I want to correlate it with the Kemetic wisdom, because the Kemetic wisdom that I've learned teaches you, the interpretations or translations are to put you on the path to enlightenment. And so I feel that the teachings that we have from the other tribes or nations like the Olmec, Toltec, and Lakota, the Cherokee, I'm starting to know the Ojibwe a little bit because I feel that with the right interpretation, we could get the same activation for the people here by the spirituality rather than just the history and the bloodshed and the war and the separate and tribalism. I feel that when we can, because according to the Hopi prophecy, in these days and times, the indigenous people of the 40 regions will come together and share the wisdom, and then we'll have the truth. And so I believe that when we do that, we'll be able to defeat Western imperialism. So that's why I'm doing all this. And that's why I started doing the Tuesday presentations, because I was just doing the sound healing, astronomy, and Kemetic devotion, but I felt like I had to get back to my roots, which is the Olmec, Toltec, Chalagi, and Lakota wisdom. Ophiuchus priestess says, yes, keep going. I have gone down that path too when I connected consciously with my ancestors. That's wonderful. Yeah, I was just an astronomer and a musician. So, well, yeah, I look forward to communicating with you more, Ophiuchus priestess. Okay, so Looks like we lost the connection on YouTube. Maybe they'll make it back. All right, so I'm going to set up the chimes now for the Sun in Sagittarius, Pluto, Sirius. Well, I don't have one for Sirius, but I have Aset. I have a Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune all in sidereal astrology, but they might be in Ophiuchus because they are 0 to 20 degree placements. So you have Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune all in what in sidereal astrology? All in Scorpio? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so I don't have the chime for Sirius. I have the chime for Aset, though. I only have the little tuning forks for the asteroids. I wonder if they're going to make the chimes for those asteroids. Okay. 0 to 20 degree placements. Well, if you cast it on the, oh my goodness, it says my battery is low. I didn't plug in the computer. If you get the chart, you can see exactly what degree it is. I mean, if you go to the website, or I can look it up for you, I guess. There we go. Okay. Well, I suppose what I'll do is I will just bring Aset, the tone I have for Aset, and it's not the same as for Sirius, though. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so. Jupiter, Aquarius. Pluto, Sagittarius, and Venus. I don't know if you remember last week, I couldn't find one chime, and it was just on the. I lost it. No. I'm over here putting up the chimes. I'm gonna take down the backdrop. Oops. There we go. Okay. Pluto, Venus, and Sagittarius. No, that's wrong. Capricorn. The sun is inside your Sagittarius. They were in Capricorn. There we go. Okay. And last week when I was doing the mega retrograde one, I couldn't find my chant that goes with retrograde. I found it. So the Mercury is direct now. It feels different when it's not Mercury retrograde. I mean, there's still 5 planets that are retrograde, but they don't move as fast as Mercury, so you don't really notice it that much. Oops, wait a minute. Okay. There we go. Over here. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't prepared because I was making candles, and then that website, Astro app, is always locked. When it's time to renew my subscription, because I go month to month, I don't have it by the year. Seems to be some sort of little glitch. Never I need it. I'm gonna put that out. So each one of these chimes, Ophiuchus Christus, represents a different planet and also represents a different cosmic force of nature. And I'm going to take this down. Let's see. I don't know if you can see behind me, I have the cosmic grandparents, Newt and Geb, the sky, and the earth. And I'm going to set. I didn't know they were off. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. We're all tangled up. I'm tangled. I'll be there as soon as I can. Good people. I know they're so tangled. Now, you would put them away like this. Making progress. Oh my goodness gracious. Goodness. This is massive. Okay, yeah, so I'm having a little technical difficulties here. So we'll just chat while I'm tangling this because I don't know when this happened. I mean, they're completely. I think I'm just gonna have to cut it. I want it out today. This isn't so bad. I could just see which one it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. Okay. How do you take care of that? This is ridiculous. Should be the right one. Try one more time. I can't even see which one it is. Okay. Oops, he'd done that. That made it worse. Okay. Wow, I didn't expect it to fall. Okay. I might have made it worse. Try this. And when I cut it, it fell, and so the little string, it's going to be hard to get it through the hole. It wasn't supposed to fall. Right. Longer. Yeah, man. I was just impatient. I cut it. And it fell. Ah. All right, let's see if this works. Otherwise, another plan. I think I know what that. You definitely want to have this on here. Okay, when at first you mess up, try something else. You expect this to happen. I have to do this anyway because the chimes don't, with those little hooks, they don't fit on my stand, so I wasn't able to use them. So everything happens for a reason. I have more of this gold. It's like thread wire, and so I use it to thread the chimes. So everything happens for a reason. Ugh. Okay. All right. Cut my finger. There we go. Yeah, so this is the first time that I have been able to play these new chimes on the stand. The rest I never would have cut them. I was gonna buy a whole new stand. This is a lot easier. Yay! It's amazing. I never would have cut them if I hadn't been on here with you. I would have just not. I would have bought a new stand. See, talking about new ways of doing things. All right, there. First time in history. Because what I've done with the solfeggio chimes is I have Notarian correspondences to them as well. And I haven't been able to play them because they didn't fit on my stand. So that's great. All right, so now we're going to have a cosmic chimes and chanting session for these planetary alignments. We always start with Anpu, the opener of the way. We have Ra and Asar Amun, Sun and Sagittarius. Oh. And we have, I should have this on the other side. Venus, Sirius, and Pluto in Sidereal Capricorn. And I don't have a chime for Sirius, but I have a chime for Aset. So this is me combining these systems in a way that I've never done before. Oh, that's not good. No, that's not gonna work. Wait, is it touching it? It's touching it. That's better. Okay. my first time. Oh my goodness, Great Awakenings. Don Miguel. Oh, Don Miguel, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's the first time I've done cosmic chimes and chanting without chanting the English correspondences or like explaining it. I just chanted the names of the deities. So that was different. No English. All right. Anyone who's just tuning in, if you're interested in knowing what your sun sign is in the 13-month sidereal system at Horoscopes, just type in your birthday. I can't do your full chart, but I can at least tell you what sign your sun is in. And it was so wonderful meeting Ophiuchus Priestess earlier. I'm looking forward to working with her. All right, so we did the cosmic chimes and chanting and astrology. Hieroglyphics class. So now we could talk a little bit about, and I found the other version. I knew I had two versions. Here's the chant for the retrograde. So I'll have it next time, Mercury's retrograde. I'd like to talk about some of the different points that we use for the post-traumatic slave syndrome protocol. We read a little bit about it from the book last time. We have the book on post-traumatic slave syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. And just one more that goes with this. I really need to get these papers organized. This is really ridiculous. How many years have I been saying this? Oh, disassociation and great. I wish I could find the pretty colored ones. Looks like we have a comment from Lola. Great Awakenings, Lola. Oh, okay. I'm grateful for you being here, Lola. I was talking earlier about how I've started, what is it? The sun is in sidereal Sagittarius. So to me, that's a time for me to chart out my travel plans. And I think you were on the call last time. We were talking about the mounds, visiting the mounds. So I'm working on that. That's what my activity for the sun in Sagittarius is going to be. Okay, so the post-traumatic slave syndrome protocol. The book by Dr. Joy DeGruy, which we read a little bit from last week, and I don't seem to have it with me right now. But I wanted to come up with a protocol for that. And if you recall, she has 10 steps, 10 action steps. What is that book? How could it not be here? That's the question. I don't know where it is, to be honest with you. I don't know where it is. Well, anyway. So I have a different protocol, a different step for each day. 555. Ooh. 555. What's 555? Is it 555? No. I don't know. What do you mean 555? Must have said something. I must have said something. And so I was perusing the internet, figuring out where to start, because it's trauma, right? It's about healing trauma from our past lives, from our ancestors' lives. Sorry, I have this horrible view of my door. There you go. Ancestors' lives. And so it's about releasing trauma from that experience, which is still afflicting humanity. And so I found this wonderful website, Crossings Healing Works, and they had protocols for post-traumatic slave syndrome. They were doing acupuncture on veterans. Oh, let's see. Acupuncture on veterans. And so I thought we could, let's adapt adapted to post-traumatic. Trying to hear my horoscope if you're still doing it. Oh, yes, Don Miguel. If you just type in your birthday, I'll look it up on the chart. My website's down, so you can access it yourself right now. It was hacked. It's horrible. 10,000 photographs of pornography, 51,000 files pornography, 4,000 backlinks pornography, and half of the files say silence is golden. It's really weird. It really freaked me out. But I will get it back up soon. So if you just type in your birthday, I don't need the time because it's just the sun sign. Are you related to Don Miguel Ruiz of the Four Agreements? Let's go. Yeah, if you type it in, or you could, if you don't want to type it in, you could email it to me or DM me, direct message me. I do charts and I do readings and things like that from time to time. Oh, I think he's gone. If you're back, Don Miguel, I would love to, if you type it in. I'll try to find you and send it to you. But anyway, so she had this wonderful protocol. Oh, there he is. Oh, 2792. Okay, 2792. February 7th. According to reality, which is what this is based on, it's based on how the sun actually moves through the constellations. The Western system, they divided the sky into 12 equal sections, and they fixed the time. So the calendar that they're proposing was fixed in time like 4,000 years ago. They don't move forward. But time moves forward one day every 70 years. So the time is all shifted. So according to this chart, you would be considered a sidereal Capricorn. You would Geb. You'd be considered Geb. What's the name for that constellation? The planet is Picayus, and the oh my goodness. I can't remember the name right now. I've been so out of it. It's in my mind. I'll have to work on it. I don't remember it. But you would be considered a sidereal Capricorn. Interested in the chart? You can screenshot it, I guess. Should be copyrighted. Thank you. And if you want like a full analysis for a contribution to the temple, I would give you your full analysis. You get the analysis of the chart, which is, well, the mini analysis is just a breakdown of the planets and the constellations with the correspondences, or the analysis, which takes me a lot of time. It takes me like days, weeks, months. One lady waited a year. It's not because it's hard. It's just hard to get enough time to focus on it all at once. And so it just takes me as long as it takes. So then we have the chart, the analysis, or the reading, and then we can have a consultation where we talk about it. That's like an hour or two. And then you can also get a cosmic chimes and chanting session for your birthday, where I chant with the cosmic forces as they were aligned at your time of birth. So that's available as a service or a donation. And so anyway, back to the post-traumatic slave syndrome from Crossings Healing Works. So what I did was I chose different extraordinary vessels to use, and different tones to use for each one of these. So the first one on this list is Finding Safety Soothes Stuck Fight Responses. The liver and gallbladder meridians mediate the fight response and help us see new possibilities. So then they have the chart of the meridians. And you can acupressure. You can use crystals or stones. You don't have to have needles or tuning forks. Or you could just visualize the energy, activating those points on the meridian. So that's for the liver and gallbladder. And then, of course, you could do a liver detox. So when we're talking about post-traumatic slave syndrome, Finding Safety Soothes Stuck Fight Response. Or the fight, is it fight or flight? Yeah. What is it? Fight, flight, and flee or something like that. There's like stages of that. So for some people, the post-traumatic slave syndrome is when you see a law enforcer, you immediately like, uh-oh, like, because the original law enforcers were the slave catchers. It's not just because of what's going on today that we have this innate terror. I mean, even children. Like I remember this time I was with my sister-in-law and her children. We were in a van, and a police officer. They were like age like 6 and 8, right? And their parents are just regular people. They don't, they're just regular people. And the cops put on their sirens and pulled the mom over. And the children got down on the floor of the car and were hiding. And they don't even know what's going on. But it's like in our DNA to be fearful of these wicked law enforcers. So when we would work on the meridian, gallbladder meridian, and the liver meridian to mediate the fight response and help us see new possibilities. Like, for instance, what happened with me today when my chime was all tangled up, I cut it and then it fell on the floor and then the stream came out and I was like, oh no, this is going to take forever. And so I saw a new possibility. I got a piece of wire from another one and now I'll be able to use my solfeggio chimes. Up until now, I had to hold them in my hand. So I saw a new possibility. That's just an example. Then we have the gift of dissociation. Acupuncturists appreciate Chi's gift of dissociation. It stops energy from coming through when there was a risk of burning our mind to the ground. So here are the meridians for the heart meridian and the governor vessel meridian. So the heart meridian, it runs along the pinky finger, along the inside of the arm, and then it ends under the arm, ends in the armpit. The lung meridian goes along the middle finger, up the middle of the arm, and it ends here at the grief point. You want to release grief and loss. But here we have stops energy from coming through when there is a risk of burning our mind to the ground. Work on those, dealing with post-traumatic slave syndrome. And I posted the whole protocol on my website. And I'm just hoping that it's still there because I know I wrote it down, but I don't know where I wrote it down. So I'm hoping that they can get my website back up. Okay, and then the third one, rage and terror are always present. The kidney and bladder meridians mediate the freeze response and our sense of safety. Yeah, that freeze response is not a good one. I guess if you're a rabbit and you want to you're hoping they don't see you. But they probably do. Freeze. Mediate the freeze response and our sense of safety. Yeah. Yeah, I took myself through the program twice on YouTube. I did live stream self-care. And if you're interested, you can find it and you could do it for yourself. And I did these two already, right? Yeah. And then also, they say to do the group ear acupuncture, where you do acupressure on your ear. And again, you can find all this documented at the Kimatones webpage, Kimatones YouTube channel. I've done it twice on myself. I'm still waiting for a human to come forth that wants to go through all 10 sessions. I was trying to get a grant so I could offer it to the community freely. So my first recipient, although he doesn't know that, I just got the idea yesterday, is my contractor who's willing to do work around here in exchange for sound healing. And he has quite a bit of sessions he's qualified for. He just hasn't made the time. However, I decided yesterday that I'm going to take him through this post-traumatic slave syndrome and see where he is at the end of 10 sessions. But I'm not going to tell him, but that's what I'm going to do. So the group ear acupuncture, sympathetic for balance in the autonomic nervous system. Can men for settling and bringing comfort to the heart and to the mind. Kidney, to warm a freeze response and help people find a sense of safety in themselves. I didn't realize that was kidney. Yeah, kidney and bladder. Okay. Yeah, so those it's stored in the water. Kidney and bladder stored in the water trauma, or it can be. And so that's how we can release it. That's making me think of when you have like a container of water and you write words on it and then you drink the water and then you drink your affirmation or intention. I'm going to do one about these. Liver, to soften anger, help the eyes see new possibilities, to unwind the fight response. So that fight and freeze, I don't see flight. Fight, flight, and freeze. That's what it is. Fight. I guess they don't want to stop the fight response, huh? No, the flight. That's what. Flight response. I wonder which one would be for flight. I guess balancing in the nervous system. And then the hippocampus. Hippocampus. They spelled it wrong. Hippocampus? I thought it was hippocampus. Let's see, what is it? Let's see, hippocampus. Oh, I'm thinking of thalamus. Hippocampus. Yep, campus. I always thought it was hippocampus. Hippocampus function. It says here is part of the brain that plays a key role in learning and memory, as well as spatial navigation. Responsible for memory and learning. Helps you remember both short and long term, gain awareness from your environment. Hippocampus is at risk of injury or damage from underlying conditions like Alzheimer's. So here we want to use these points to ease the mind's grip on traumatic memory, to bring relief to overcharged sensate memories that manifest as nightmares and flashbacks, complete with odors and images. Okay, well, I'm going to work on that myself because I get flashbacks of really sad things, and I don't want to do that anymore. So here is a chart of all the points you can access on your ear. And like I said, you could do acupressure. You can literally just massage your ears, right? And activate all of these points. Let's all do that. Just massage your ears. And then the ear, it looks like a kidney. So they say that the kidneys are related to your hearing. Have you heard anything like that? Or trauma? There's a connection there. So this doesn't really show you where, but I think you can see. Doesn't say. I'm assuming they're in order. Sympathetic and the Kenmen are up here at the top of the ear, and then you have one right here, and then two inside, right here. I'll take a look at it again. But you could just look up the points, acupuncture points on the ear. And look at all these. You got antihistamine, omega-2, hypertension, uterus C, kidney, constipation, psychosomatic practices, external genitals, veins, large intestines, diaphragm, ovaries, testes, internal genitals, vitality point, the mouth, the throat, appetite control, adrenal gland, Sanjiao, pineal gland, pituitary gland. Wow, you could just do a lot just by massaging your ears. It's mostly the inner ear, not the rim so much. This part is the rim, apex, but the rest are closer to the canal, inner canal. Anyway, I'm gonna screenshot it. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be working on my contractor with this PTSS I'm telling him he needs to come for 10 sessions because that'll be about half of what I owe him if he comes for. I mean, that'll be double what I owe him if he comes for 10. I probably owe him for 5 sessions. So I'm excited about that. All right. Let's see what else can we talk about. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Wellness. Not so much healing, but just well-being. And one thing that I stick with no matter what for the past 40 years is following the holy days, the natural holy days. Now, I have to admit, I do get a little tense or emotional when it's time for Western holidays, especially ones that deal with or are the source of so much unaliving of people. I just can't participate in them. And when I'm with people that do, I lose patience. I've lost patience. I used to just like not be around people at those time of years. I'm talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. However, it brings me a lot of joy and satisfaction to follow the natural holy days, which you can see on the diagram under Newt and Geb. I talk about that a lot. The spiral dance medicine wheel. So right now we're like in the winter solstice. It starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The winter solstice is the longest night of the year, the shortest day, and it represents the direction of the north, aspect of being spirit, element fire, the crown chakra. And next we have the middle of winter, Candlemas, Chinese New Year. I say this is when we ascend up the spiral. It's not just repeating a circle over and over again. We're supposed to elevate or transcend or move forward, not just repeat what we did last year. And it's when Candlemas means more light. So the days are getting longer. Then at the spring equinox, this represents the east, the mind, the air, and the root chakra. And it goes on like that, this mid-seasons and the seasons. So at the winter solstice, a lot of people celebrate holidays of Western imperialism. And it just kind of doesn't make me feel very well. I don't feel a lot of well-being during those seasons. So I try to make a big deal out of the natural holy days. So I do the spiral dance medicine wheel. And at the winter solstice, my daughter and I, she grew up observing the winter solstice. We would, at the time, know as much as I know now. So we started out with our own version of Hanukkah because we were living as Black Hebrew Israelites. So we had, I learned this tradition from another Black Hebrew Israelite. He was my first spiritual teacher. He was actually in the lineage of Black rabbis, and he was supposed to be the next rabbi in his church, in his temple, but his father was stoned to death in the street by white angry Jews. Oh my gosh, I don't know what they're going to say about that, me saying that, but that's what happened to him. It's not me trying to talk badly about anyone. That's just what happened. He was stoned to death in the streets. And so then this person moved to Texas where I was living. He was my first teacher. And so he told me that at his temple, they would have 7 candles. And this was before Kwanzaa was popular. They would light 7 candles, and each night they would discuss or honor one of the principles of the Kabbalion, which is from Jehuti. The mind is all, as above, so below. Everything is rhythm, everything is vibration, everything has poles or opposites. The law of cause and effect, and everything has gender. Those are the 7 principles of the Kabbalion. So then my daughters grew up doing that. That was our Hanukkah. They didn't know about what other people did for Hanukkah. They just knew that's what we did for Hanukkah. And that's how I kept my sanity through those periods. It was like we did this and we didn't do it 12 laws of the, I know it's 7 laws of the Kabbalion. I don't know about the 12 laws of the universe, but I know about the 7 principles of the Kabbalion. I don't know about the 12 laws of the universe. I'm sure they correspond. They're laws of nature, but the Kabbalion has 7 principles. And so then as my experiences grew and my consciousness grew and I got more and more into teachings, then we added Ma'at. So we had the 7 principles of Ma'at: balance, truth, order, harmony, justice, reciprocity, and righteousness. And then we added, since we have Hebrew in us, we added the tree of life. I seek the crown of wisdom and understanding, where might and mercy and balance, the beauty, victory, and glory find their foundation in the creation. So we had those. We had a night for those. We went all over all 7, and then we added a night for what's called the Mayan principles. I learned these from my grandpa. He was in a group called the Mayan. So then we had that night, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, we have to have the principles of Kwanzaa, because that's, I learned about them in college in the Guza Saba before it was Kwanzaa, because that's when Kwanzaa got real popular. So we added that. So then we had one night for each principle. We added the Orishas, and we added the chakras from India. So then we had one culture for each night, and we would fix a meal based on that culture or that teaching. And so the girls grew up and moved away, and I was still doing it by myself at home. It's not the same. I was doing 7 nights by myself. And we had songs, we had food, we'd go over the principles, and we'd have to be able to spell the words and define the words and explain what it meant in their own words, while they were growing up. And then one year I came to Chicago to visit about the property, about where my mother's property. And my daughter said, well, since you're coming to Chicago in the wintertime anyway, we could just keep doing our Hanukkah. And I was like, okay. So we would get together and we'd still do it. She was in her 20s, and we would get together for the 8 nights, because we did 7 nights. And then on the 8th night, we did all of it. We had everything. We had all the leftovers from all the different cultures and everything. It was really fun. In fact, what's that woman's name? I can't remember her name. Wait, I have the book. Let me go get it real quick. Yeah, this is another one of these books that I bought and I've never read it. But when I was still homeschooling the girls, I told my friends what we did at the book. It was just like the book Opening to Spirit. Oh, wait, is this the right one? Caroline Shola Ariwa. I'm not sure if this is the one. Yeah, I don't know where this book came from, now that you mention it. I don't even know what this book is. Wait a minute, hold on. That's not the one I'm looking for. I've got to find it now. I might not even have it anymore. Oh, it was Carolyn Metz. That's who it was, Carolyn Metz. I don't know where that book is. Maybe this is it. I think a friend gave it to me. They were saying that what I was doing with the girls is exactly what this other person was saying to do in her book. Maybe it is this. contacting the healing power of the chakras and honoring African spirituality. Maybe this is it. Like I say, I've never read it, so I'm going to check it out. Carolyn Shola Ariwa. It's a book I have. I've never read it. Anyway, so now flash forward, she's in her 30s now. She's touring the world. She's doing all kind of amazing things. And she was just like, I just don't know if I can do 7, 8 nights. I says, I know what you mean, Yuvia, because we didn't do it when the Jewish people had Hanukkah, because their Hanukkah moves with the moon. There is the moon, the new moon at the winter solstice. That's what defines Hanukkah, based on their miracle. And I was like, yeah, but it's too complicated. It changes every year. And, it's just like, sometimes Hanukkah comes during Christmas. Sometimes it's after Christmas. Sometimes it's just like, I said, we just did the winter solstice. So that we would do the 8 nights leading up to the solstice. That way, you're free if you wanted to hang out with your friends for their Christmas parties or whatever, you could still do that, or Kwanzaa or whatever. I never did. So then I said, well, let's just do the 3 nights of the winter solstice. That's easy. And so that's what we do. So now we've combined it. And so we have 2 principles on the first night, 3 principles on the second night, and 2 principles on the third night. And we're good. So this morning I was making the candles for our ceremony. And I found an audio from last year where we decided some changes that we were going to make. Because we always would start with Kemet, but that's the most powerful night with the teachings. And we were so busy like making the food and cleaning the house. By the time it was time to light the candles, we were like, tired. So we're going to save those for the last night. And we're going to start with people of the East, right? Asia, like India, because we love Indian food, and the Hebrew tradition, that's the latkes, for the first night. And the second night, we're going to do Tamerica, which would be, North, Central, and South America. The Orisha, because the Orishas are also a big part of Tamerican culture. And the Nguzo Saba, even though we used to celebrate it as part of the African night, it's actually Tamerican because the person who came up with the whole concept of Kwanzaa is from Tamerica. So that's what we're going to do for the second night. And then the third night will be Kemet. So this will be the first year that we've done it that way. And I just wanted to share that with you. If you're looking for other ways to honor the winter solstice and not get caught up in the whole illusion of Christmas, because Western imperialism, they always set their holidays to be a week or 10 days after the natural holy day, or with Christmas, it's 3 days after the winter solstice. But there are other holidays like July 4th is a little bit after the summer solstice, and Easter and Passover is the full moon after the equinox. Then Halloween is the Day of the Dead, it's the middle of fall. The Chinese New Year is the new moon at the middle of winter, Candlemas. Sirius rising. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, my homework for this year is to put all of this in a book. Because we have notes everywhere. She's coming up the playlist, and I'm supposed to make the book. So I made the candles this morning. When I get off of this call, I'm gonna make my book. We call it Soul Win. Soul Win is kind of a play on words because your soul wins. Like I feel so energized when I do it, and I've been kind of depressed. I was kind of cranky with her yesterday about something, and I'm going to apologize, of course. But we're going to make these preparations. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. And we just go over the principles and reflect and meditate. Like when we do the chakras, we do chakra tune-ups. Yes, it is really amazing how I've been able to correlate all the directions into something holistic. And what's even more amazing to me is that I've been doing this with my daughter. Like her sister doesn't talk to me, and her dad, their dad doesn't talk to me because we used to do it together. But my daughter and I, we've been doing it together, since she was born. Like she's 34 years old now. We've been doing it. One winter, it was that we didn't have heat here in our building because of the dispute with the gas company. So I rented it's like a student hotel apartment place. I rented a space for us to be there for the 8 nights. And she had a gig one night. So we started and then we stopped, take a break. Like we lit the candles and had the ceremony, and then we stopped and then went to her gig and then came back and had the discussion and had the meal. So yeah, we maintained it, and it is really interesting. I believe that's one reason why she's such a unique personality, because she's been able to embrace the teachings and live by them in her own way. Her older sister thought that I was trying to make her be a certain way, and I'm like, no, I just wanted you to have the tools. Like if you understand all of these principles, if you can understand all of these principles and talk about them in your own words, then you will have an amazing consciousness. And all of my younger daughter, all of her friends say the same thing. She's so amazing. You did such a good job raising her. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, I did my best. It was the wisdom teachings of the indigenous people of the Four Directions, inspired by the Hopi and Lakota prophecies diagram of the spiral dance medicine wheel in motion. So I wanted to share that with you for the well-being. And if you're interested, I could send you a copy of the directions, the teachings. And when they were little, we knew all the Hanukkah songs. She still loves the Hanukkah songs, and she still loves latkes. She doesn't want to play the dreidel anymore, but I mean, because it's still a vibrant culture. It's not the people that are doing the destruction there. It's not the people that came up with these traditions. And of course, we know that the source of them is Aboriginal African, but we don't get into that. We don't dwell on that. We're just grateful that the wisdom teachings survive, because the Tree of Life. Are you familiar with the Tree of Life? It's a very powerful tool. There's even a Kemetic Tree of Life, which goes to the cosmic forces, the gods and goddesses. So it's a very powerful tool. And that's what we need. We need the powerful tools. We don't need the racism and the hatred and the tribalism and the separatism and I call it Abbott and Costello, who's on first. A lot of people waste a lot of time proving who was first. Okay, all right. Yes, I would love to share it with you. And I would really appreciate if you're able to make even $1 donation, anything to go towards the Asomadaji Temple. Because that's where that's another thing I have to do differently in 2025, is I have to just come out and talk about money sometimes. I've tried doing live streams where it was by donation. People didn't leave donations. I tried a service where people had to pay before they could join the stream, but I didn't set it up right, so people were paying 50 cents instead of $5. So, and then I tried to do the subscriptions on TikTok, but somebody said TikTok gets half of it, and I can't do subscriptions on YouTube because I don't have enough views. So we're going to set up something at the website so that if you want something, you just click the donate button. And I'm sorry to be saying that to you, Lola, because you're one of my good friends and supporters on here. But I have to put it out there. But I would be willing to make the book available for a small donation to Asomadaji Temple. Okay, I said it. Yeah. And what else? We give gifts. They're usually like socks or something warm for the winter or something useful. Like I used to give art supplies or art project or books, crystals, just healing things, not commercial material, not things from like Walmart or anything, just like homemade. Sometimes I try to do homemade. Thank you. Yeah, so it's been really fun. And so like I said, I made the candles. Today I'm gonna work on the book. Tomorrow I'll clean the house. And last year we talked about doing all the cooking and cleaning the day before, because at the winter solstice you're supposed to stop everything and rest, and we would be like trying to do everything. So I'm really grateful I got the candles done today, even though I was a little late getting here today for the session. And I'm going to work on the book and start cooking a little bit, because I have lentils, I have potatoes. Well, I can't really do that until Thursday. Or anyway, we'll figure it out. But we're really excited about it. And some people have asked to join our ceremonies with us, but I haven't felt comfortable doing that yet. But maybe someday. Yep. So thank you for listening. So that's my commentary on well-being and breaking away from Western imperialism and materialism holidays, which celebrate murder and death and destruction and so much violence all over the world because of these three major religions of Western imperialism. I mean, when you just sit back and think about it, it's just like, why are people still following these religions? I don't understand, but I'm not judging. I just don't understand. I don't understand. And so I'm going to continue to speak out, even though it ruffles people's feathers. Like at Thanksgiving, people, and I'm in a group, and they send all these happy Thanksgiving messages. And I know every single one of them has Aboriginal American, because we don't say African American, American Indian, Black, Native American, Black Indian. I know they all do. So I just said something about, what did I say? Oh, I remember what I said. I remember that like 30 years ago, I was at a Black bookstore in Chicago, and they had a sign on the wall. It was handwritten. You know, they wrote it by hand. It wasn't like typed out. It might have been photocopied, but it was handwritten. And it said that the first Thanksgiving was in 1577 in Africa. They had just massacred like several villages. And like next year in a new world. And so in 1578, if you know history, that's when their first Thanksgiving in the United States was. And it was after they had slaughtered a village. And then the turkey is the sacred, well, I don't know what it is now, but at the time it was a sacred bird of the Cherokee. So it just, you know, it just doesn't feel very good. That's why we're talking about PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome. It also applies to forced migration on the Trail of Tears. It's like some of that stuff is so deep in us that, you know, it's really hard for me to just act like everything's okay when I'm in that type of environment. And so, of course, you know, it's not very pleasant after somebody brings that up when everybody's saying Happy Thanksgiving, but then they don't think about how we feel when we have to like hear that. So I feel like it needs to be okay to just, if someone says, if 12 people tell you Happy Thanksgiving, you should be able to say, well, you know, the first Thanksgiving was a slaughter of villages in Africa, and the second one, which was the first one here, was a slaughtering of villages here. So how can it be happy? You're thankful for the people that sacrificed their lives so that you can be here today. You're thankful so that you can be here today, but you're thankful on the day that the same people did that to your ancestors are doing it to you. I don't see how you can be happy. But anyway, we talk about that on Tuesdays. We're talking about it today because it's about wellness during the holidays and encouraging you to learn more about the natural holy days, come up with your own celebrations, observances. You can look at the history and get ideas from there. You know, I just set up a fire pit, and I go out with musical instruments and chimes representing the four directions. And then I offer chanting or music honoring each direction. And then I do at the end, I have a cosmic chimes and chanting, which represents the people of the North and the people of the South. Because it's the chimes are made by people of the North, acupuncturists, who not all their patients liked acupuncture needles. So they came up with a system. And then it's people of the South because it's based on Kemetic wisdom. Then I have the Cherokee song and Lakota song to represent the people of the West, Central America. And for the people of the East, we have some chants that I learned from when I was in Buddhism and Hindu yoga. So that's how I maintain it throughout the year. And that's what I usually do. I usually do a live stream, actually, from the lake or from the temple space. So if you want to keep up with it, sometimes you can. I try to put out announcements when it's going to happen, but I don't always get them out on time. So you just have to catch it. Yep. So that's the story for today. Oh, thank you, Old School. Old School is always here to support me. I didn't know that his channel is all comedy. So if you're looking for some good humor, um, check out Old School Views on TikTok. Is that right? Old School Views, yeah. OLSKOOLVUZ. I guess I don't know how to pin people on there. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. All right. So is there anything else I wanted to mention today? I think that was good. I really wanted to talk about the wellness. I do have a pendulum here. Anyone ever wants a pendulum reading? Like I told Don Miguel what his sun sign is in the 13 sign astrology system. If you ever want a pendulum reading, I'm always available. You can also get an energy flow analysis or energy wealth analysis where we use the pendulums quite a bit, checking with the chakras, and we clear them. It's a great process. I need to do more myself, obviously. Okay, well, that's all for today. I hope you had a wonderful Wellness Wednesday where we had a nice conversation about Ophiuchus. We had a woman here, Ophiuchus priestess, was on here for a while, and we did the chimes and chanting session, which was really nice. It was the first time I did it all in the Medu Nectar. I didn't say what the meanings were in English. I read about the meanings ahead of time. Atum Akanda, sending prosperous love from Thailand, Ankh and Ma'at. Oh my goodness. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Uja, Ankh Uja Saneb. There was someone from Thailand that wanted me to start teaching yoga class online. And I said, well, when I'm ready, I will. And I don't remember what their name is. So I don't know if it's you. It was somebody that I met at a Egyptian yoga conference, winter solstice conference. But if it's you, Atum Akanda, I have started teaching it on my other platform, other channel, the music channel. And I'm sending prosperous love back to you. And someone in Thailand invited me to come stay with them, but I didn't go. I should look them up about the yoga class. I wonder if it was the same person. Now that I've started teaching, maybe I'm ready to go. But Thailand is one place I would love to visit. I've been to the north, I've been to Europe, I've been to Africa, went to Egypt. I haven't been to Mali yet. Okay, I've been to, of course, I've been North, Central, and South America. I have not been to the East. I would like to go to Thailand, and I would like to go to Bali, and I would love to go to India as well. Those are the places I'd like to go. So I'm going to do this tour of the mounds here on Turtle Island. I'm going to go to the Cahokia Mounds. I want to go to Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Carolinas. Wherever there's a mounds, I want to go check them out and activate them with the chimes and the chanting and just what I do. But once I'm done with that, then I'm going to go to the East. Definitely. Yeah. Well, Atum Akanda, I hope that we can stay in touch. I hope you're subscribed to this channel. I can find you easily. And I'm thinking about changing the name of the Kimatones channel. It's been Kimatones since like 2007. But I've expanded my brand to Light Being Wellness, which includes Kimatones, Hedu Scopes, the Open Your Money Flow program, and the music. So I started another channel for Light Being Wellness, but I'm not really spending a lot of time there. And so someone advised me years ago to just change this one. So I'm thinking about that. I really like Kimatones, but I think it will be easier for people to find me. And what else? Update. That one song that I have on this channel, Om Amun Rakata, it was supposed to be on the music channel, but it's on this channel. It has up to 53,000 views. It's not monetized, of course. But I'm back in the studio finally to record a cleaner version. I'm going to release the original version with all the static, and you can hear the microphone brushing against my collar. I'm going to release both versions so that it will be monetized. And I'm going to release them on the other channel because that's supposed to be the music channel. This is just housekeeping. So if you might see the name change on this channel. I'm not really sure. I make a lot of my decisions using my pendulum, so I'm going to put some time into it. But the most important thing is that I've started recording music again. I've started practicing again, and I've started teaching the yoga class. So those are the 3 big updates. Oh, and I did get some more fragrance from Egypt. So I'm going to start. I have a few formulas for the fragrances. If you've never experienced them, they're pressed flowers. It's not distilled. It's not homeopathy. It's not essential oil. It's nothing like that. They just get tons of flowers and press them. And the fragrance is not like anything else you've ever experienced and then like fancy perfume and cologne manufacturers buy the flower essences from Kemet and then add colorings and preservatives and chemicals to make it last, and then put it in really fancy bottles and charge $2,000 for a little bottle. And you can just get a little bottle of the pure fragrance. You can get a big bottle of pure fragrance for like $100. You can get a bottle this big of just a fragrance for $100, or you can get $2,000 for this little tiny artificial bottle. So I'll be selling those as well. Selling. And so those are the housekeeping updates. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle, go work on the book for Soul Wind. This morning while I was making candles, a song came through. So we have a new song for our holy day, Soul Wind, because how your soul can win by knowing all these teachings from the 4 directions and all this delicious, yummy food and music. If you have all that, your soul can win. And in my opinion, those are all Natarian traditions, not necessarily from Kemet, but they do follow the Neteru. They do follow the cosmic forces of nature. They do follow the gods and goddesses of their location and their time period. So it's a beautiful thing. All right. Once again, my name is Tachia Ahmed El Ma'at, aka Arit Neter Esmeri Moati. This has been a presentation of Good Rising TV, because we're gods and goddesses rising, cosmic forces arising, awakening to the mysteries of life, revealing our hidden divinity. Good Rising Great Awakenings and Light Being Wellness Center and Asmataji Temple of Divine Light, Healing, and Sweet Sounds. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central for Natarian Devotion on Thursdays, where we have an hour of discussion on the Neteru. I read from some great books and we just talk about them. And guests have come on and joined me, which was great. And then we have an hour of devotion. I turn the cameras over towards the altar. Tomorrow, we're going to be dealing with Ma'at. So it'll be the altar over there. January 21st, the planets align. Ooh, I didn't know about that. I'll have to look into it. Thank you. January 21st, the planets align. Can you tell me some more about that? There was one guy on here a few weeks ago that told me about they found the moon, but it was an asteroid, and I never did find out where it was. I still haven't found out. That's probably why he's not back, because I promised him a video. January 1st, 21, alignment, planet alignment. Okay. What is it? What is the next planetary alignment? I started September 22nd to January 21st. Is that what you mean? A rare planetary alignment on January 21st. January 25th, an extraordinary event. Well, I will look into this. Thank you very much. Looks like one started September 4th, September 2nd. Another one says January 21st. Another one says January 25th. What planets will align? The days scheduled for the best viewing vary throughout the 2 months, with January 21st and 22nd being peak nights according to Starwalk. Shortly after sunset, skywatchers can view Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn in the sky. six-planet alignment to dazzle skywatchers in January and February. What happens on January 25th? Rare planetary alignment. A spectacular event in the night sky will light up the heavens on the 25th day of January. Stellar observers will be excited to know that Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will appear within a similar celestial line. Alrighty then, Atum Akanda. Personally, I believe it's a time that we can ascend our spiritual chakras, for some rising out of lower planes and others may fall. Long story short, portals are opening if you want to travel. Thank you. I do want to travel. I manage, I think it's 13 portals in my temple space. I'm all about portals. So thank you for bringing this to my attention. I in no means am trying to give off the impression that I know everything about all the stars. I don't even keep up with them like I used to, which is why I started doing this type of a broadcast, because it forces me. Once a week, I tune in and see what's going on. So I will definitely look into this. So the first one is Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. The second one, yeah. It says it started on September 2nd, but I guess on January 21st, it's going to be really powerful. Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn. Okay. Well, thank you. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this for the whole month. How about that? Figuring it out, what we're going to do. Well, you know what? We just moved into Sagittarius, which is about travel, right? And the sun is inside your Sagittarius. And what came to me is now is the time to plan our course, chart our course for the traveling we want to do in 2025, right? And I'm talking about going to the mounds. And if you study the Lakota, and you know that they have this thing called the sacred hoop sky, where it's Orion, Gemini, and Cancer, and it's this beautiful. I don't have my book here. We talk about that on Tuesdays. The sacred hoop. And then on their land around the Black Hills, it's reflected onto the land. Wait a minute. I could just run over there and get it if you have a minute. And so they have a lot of ceremonies around that time. And then the Quechua in Peru have a similar setup. So, this is really exciting to me, because we're going to plan our astral travel with these planets that you told me about that are lining up. I need to find out where they're going to be, though, what constellations they're in. It's funny how they tell you these things, but they don't tell you where it's going to be. They have to tell you where it's going to be. How could they not? Are they all in the same sign? Let's see here. These alignments are rare since it takes place because of the different orbital periods. Yeah, it doesn't tell me where. So thank you for bringing this to my attention. And I will definitely report on this next week, next Wednesday, if you're around. I didn't get to answer the other guy's question about that asteroid. It happened too quick. I didn't know about it. But this gives me, I have time to get this together. And yeah, this is fun. I love stuff like this. Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I'm excited. Rare planetary alignment. And it also has, what does it mean spiritually when they align? What happens when the planets align spiritually? What do they say? While not forming a specific straight line due to their elliptical orbits from certain angles on Earth, they will appear aligned. This rare alignment enhances the flow of cosmic energy, making it an ideal time for ritual work and spiritual practices. Definitely. It's fantastic. Well, thank you. What a great way to end our program. Yes, please schedule when the live is, and I will tune in, and time differences and all are a bit difficult. Okay, so you are in Thailand, so I'll make sure, like, it's 10 o'clock here. What time is it where you are right now? I'll make sure it's at because we want to be out when the stars are out so we can see it. My friend in Pakistan is 11 hours ahead of me. So like right now it's 10 in the morning. So it's 9 o'clock at night there. Let me see what we can do here. 1 o'clock. Time. I don't even know a name of a place in Thailand. Let's see, Bangkok. Okay. Okay, so it's 11:11 p.m. there, and it's 10 a.m. here. So I don't know. If I did it at night, it would be morning. PM December 18th. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. I guess, um, yeah, if you wanted to listen to it at night, you could watch the replay. But if you want to be live, it'll probably be in the morning because I like to do things celestial when the stars are out. But definitely, we'll be doing something on January 21st at a time that works for you. Like if I did it at 11:11 p.m., that would be 10 a.m. for you or something like that. So anyway, 11:11:11 is that's got to be something there too. So anyway, okay. Thank you so much. I've got my homework cut out for me. I'm going to get the book finished and I'm going to work on January 21st broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm really enjoying myself. And it wouldn't be the same without you. It would just be me talking to myself on the screen. So thank you. Attempt. Thank you. Do a tap. Thank you.